The year is 1952, and scientists are just starting to understand what they can't see. With this focus on the microscopic came one of the biggest questions of the era. What is the structure of DNA? Rosalind Franklin, an outspoken woman who had dreamed of becoming a scientist since she was 15 years old, wasn't about to be left out. In her lab at King's College, she sought to understand the structure of DNA by studying it through X-ray crystallography. Right from the start, Rosalind's lab partner Maurice Wilkins treated her as an assistant and an inferior. So Rosalind began to work alone, making incredible strides in the field. When she wasn't flying solo, she was accompanied by her lab assistant Raymond Gosling. Eventually, Rosalind and Raymond managed to capture this photograph of DNA, known as Photo 51. While Rosalind and Raymond used X-ray crystallography and diffraction to take the first stunning photograph of the helix, James Watson and Francis Crick were shuffling around cardboard cutouts in Cavendish Lab in Cambridge. Watson and Crick ran into problems with their model since they believed the phosphate spine of the DNA was in the middle, something Rosalind had already proved incorrect. The backbone of the chain of nucleotides was actually on the outside. Back in her lab, Rosalind left Wilkins far behind. Eventually, the jealous Wilkins betrayed Rosalind. He was angry at her scientific advances and frustrated that he had to share the lab with the woman. Wilkins showed a stolen copy of Rosalind's photograph to Watson, who immediately recognized the helix visible in the photo and knew that he was looking at the answer to the structural DNA problem. Watson shared the knowledge with Crick, and with Rosalind's photograph, they were able to create an accurate model of the double helix and publish their work, without acknowledging Rosalind's contribution or work. Wilkins published his work at the same time as a supporting pillar of the looming glory of Watson and Crick's discovery. Rosalind died of ovarian cancer 4 years before Watson, Crick, and Wilkins were honored with a Nobel Prize for their groundbreaking DNA discovery that revolutionized science. Most likely, Rosalind never knew how much her research affected their discovery. She just thought she was supporting their unprecedented conclusions. In only 2 years, Rosalind Franklin made the key experimental discovery that scientists hadn't been able to figure out for the past 90 years, starting in 1869 with Friedrich Miescher's discovery of what he called nuclein on pus-covered bandages. Overshadowed by the men who plagiarized her research, Rosalind remains in the shadows forever as the Dark Lady of DNA.